Hello, this is Magus with Gaming with Magus. I'm going to do a react to the Overwatch Genesis Part 1, 2, and 3 trailers, or animated shorts, or whatever you want to call them. And this is going to help explain, I believe, what happening before the first Omnic uprising, obviously with the new invasion, Season 6 coming out with Overwatch 2. It is the second one. It's not the same one, but it gives some context as to what had happened and what led up to it. So this is the first time them doing an animated item, so I'm going to react to that and see what that looks like. All right, here we go.
Ground forces deployed to Rally Point Green.
Okay.
Sky, what's your inbound?
Roger, 30 seconds. Battalion spotted your sector, 50 clicks south-southeast.
Copy that. Delta, take positions. Overwatch on site. Taking heavy fire. Sky, confirm targets.
Affirm. Units approaching. Grid point 19 Charlie.
You've been spotted. You've been spotted. Get out of here, Sky. Get out of here.
No matter what you call them, warbots, tin cans, they were soulless machines. But the truth is, we were scared. I was scared. They were supposed to be the beginning of a new life.
Oh. Oh, snap.
But in that moment,
Oh, he was on the front line.
it felt like the end of humanity.
I could see that. Genesis Part 1, Dawn.
Life before the war was extraordinary. Anything was possible. We had implemented God programs. The next generation of artificial intelligence became omnipresent. They controlled most of our infrastructures, like the food distribution systems aimed at helping against famine, poverty. We were no longer defined by our mistakes. No. The AIs were saving us from them.
Artificial intelligence was running systems to make our lives better, but what was really exciting was combining it with robotics. Omnica Corp started building a new line of state-of-the-art robots. Omnix would eventually eliminate the need for humans to do all those idle, mundane, often dangerous jobs.
Everyday needs? That puts power
I
at your
remember.
fingertips.
Line of robots that put power by your side.
And geared up to put power in their hands. Omnica Corp. Always looking to what's next.
Society embraced it.
Sure, we had the pedal to the metal. But who was really paying attention to the road?
Look, Omnica kept making robots smarter, and they made life easier and safer, and as you know, this business is all about what's next.
And what was next was Mina.
And in Tech Talk, Omnica Corp announced today that Dr. Mina Liao, the science prodigy and eminent visionary in robotics, will develop the next generation of Omnics.
Omnica Corp has made a lot of strides, and, well, we're going to do better. What I mean is, they've done great. We've done great. But it's time to reach for the stars.
Frankly, I had my doubts. Dr. Liao was a legend in her field, but we were asking her to push the limits of what many thought was already perfection.
Asking what if you
Somebody
can
should
or
have
if
put
you
a stop
should.
to it. It wasn't science. It was arrogance.
It's usually how it
When
goes.
it came down to the moment of truth, We had no idea what was about to happen.
It didn't just activate.
She was born. Life before the war was extraordinary. Anything was possible. But it was all about to change.
Yup. So clearly, see, this is what I always find interesting. How many sci-fi things have we released, whether it's The Matrix, it's iRobot? I mean, there's countless things, and they never stop to think, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe this could be a problem. And I see AI going on right now with GPT chat and all that stuff and all the various things. Automation on some stuff, that's fine, but I think there's a dangerous line where scientists, either motivated by their upper people that are greedy, or potentially just intrinsically they want to push the boundaries, be famous, whatever, they're clearly going to do a nuclear bomb issue. And they clearly, they were thinking about this beforehand. So anyway, that was the first one. Let's go on to the second one. Transition. Here we go.
Aurora was the first of us to awaken.
Okay.
Can you imagine how she must have felt? Born in a laboratory, surrounded by your creators. And then you learn the truth, that there is no other creature like you anywhere. That you are truly alone.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that. Genesis Part 2. Innocence.
Dr. Liao discovered that Aurora was sentient, that she was alive, thinking, choosing.
It was hard to believe. I didn't want to believe it at first.
She passed every single test we could come up with. Every one.
And then the entire world found out.
Yep.
Dr. Liao committed career suicide by saying Aurora was alive. But her testimony was very compelling.
This just in, a stunning ruling.
Robot was declared a sentient being.
Granted her freedom and released into the world.
I was so relieved. She had a chance to actually live free. And she made the most of it.
Aurora had been born into a world that she didn't understand. She wanted to see more of it.
I can definitely see that.
She went everywhere, learning, watching, seeing how humans treated each other, the good and the bad. But eventually, she had questions about the nature of her own existence. About her soul. She could only find those answers alone.
Shambhala.
Oh, well, while all that was happening, there was a lot more scrutiny into Omnica Corp's operations. It didn't go well for us. Overspending, mismanagement, fraud even. In a couple of years, Omnica was done.
All those automated production lines, completely abandoned and unmonitored for years.
That was a mistake.
Anyway.
Breaking news out of Nigeria. Countless social media reports of an invasion underway.
It remains unclear exactly what's happening in Central Africa, but we do have some footage from the scene.
Also getting eyewitness reports of strange robots designed for combat.
We were caught by surprise. The world was caught by surprise. Omnics were attacking everywhere. It seemed like every country was hit from every direction, all at once.
We didn't know it then, but one of the God programs, originally designed to help humanity, had hijacked Omnica's production lines to build warbots of its own design.
They called it Anubis. It was built to maintain ecological balance of all things. For conservation.
Its goals could not be achieved without the end of humanity. And it used us to carry out its plan.
We were running out of hope. But there was a little.
There we go.
Only a few teams across the world were able to mount a real defense. The best of the best joined the special strike team called Overwatch.
There we go.
It was a brilliant decision to recruit Dr. Liao, who knew more about Omnics than she did.
Those first victories showed the world what Overwatch could do. Soon the strike team was joined by a whole army. Of course, recruits like me were always amazed by what the core team could do. Overwatch had the impossible objective of winning the war. And sometimes, it seemed we might actually pull it off. Anubis didn't
Just threw his
sleep,
weapons down.
didn't feel fear, and didn't feel despair. But it also couldn't feel hope. That was what Overwatch gave us. And even then, we had to wonder if hope was going to be enough.
It was bad. Yeah. Yeah. Usually when push comes to some shove, humanity usually pulls through, which is always a good trade. It doesn't make me wonder, though. The Omnics are omnipresent right now. They're not just dumb robots that are just programmed to do certain things. Hopefully it shows in the next trailer how they go from that to that, because clearly when Anubis took over, he overrided their programming and gave them orders. Unless it explains the other part, the only thing I can think of is maybe he gave it artificial intelligence, but when he stopped barking orders, then they were like, okay, what now? We'll see. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's go on to 3.
The United Nations created Overwatch, and we won some victories. We thought the tide had turned. Unfortunately, it did not quite work out that way.
Yeah, I can see that.
But life had to go on.
Genesis Part 3 Rebirth. Okay. Yeah, that was Russia building human mechs. You would think Japan would do that.
The Anubis program was learning from its defeat. We could never beat it the same way twice.
Annihilation, or victory, depending on your point of view, seemed inevitable. And I know I had no choice in the matter. I was under the control of the Anubis program. But it haunts me.
All the Omnics had their major subroutines overridden and controlled by a lone god program. All except one. Aurora. Her sentience meant that she was immune to the Anubis directives. But if the AI could interface with all these Omnics, maybe Aurora could too.
She was one of a kind. But we had found a way to replicate her. To transmit her. But the cost would be so incredibly high.
Whatever Aurora was looking for on her journey to Shambali, in that moment, she had found it.
We were pretty confident we knew what the results would be. But I will never fully understand what really happened in there.
Aurora gave us a chance.
Okay, that explains the red to blue.
Something, everything
with Bastion
changed. It was the strangest thing I ever saw. That moment would be known as the Awakening.
For the first time in our existence, we were suddenly given a choice. Some chose to lay down their weapons. Some continued to fight the humans. But some of us chose to turn against the AI that had held us captive. We had a choice.
Freedom.
Overwatch seized the moment. They started a counteroffensive. It would take some time, but it was the start of us winning the war. The strikes and counter-strikes eventually drove the enemy forces to collapse. By some small miracle, we infiltrated and quarantined Anubis in Cairo. Months later, the war was over. We had won. I got to know some of them. They are like us. Reflections of us. Some are no good. Some I would trust with my life. I suppose we all had an awakening.
The awakening? Of course I remember. For one brief moment, we were all connected and aware. What I remember more than anything else is her message. My friends, when I was born,
I was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by the sudden rush of senses, emotions, choices. I was excited. Alive. It was frightening. But I found in facing fear, there is freedom. And through freedom, you can find your own path. I have chosen to share the discovery with you. A new beginning. I wish I could stay. You have this one life. Choose well.
You have this one life.
Choose well.
Choose well.
Well, that was pretty cool. First of all, they need to do more of that. To be honest, the story has always been a strong point when it comes to Overwatch, and we've always wanted more. We've gotten snippets, we've gotten little comics and things like that, but to actually have something like this was quite nice. It gave an answer, didn't need to be long, as to, okay, what actually happened. Explained a lot. It's pretty cool. I think it'll be interesting to see how the story of the invasion and thus will unfold. We're going to get 3 story missions, but there's a lot more than just those. It's a very small snippet of a larger story that they're going to be telling. So that'll be very interesting to see. I don't know if they're going to do more of these to fill in gaps. I don't know if they're going to do different stuff. If they're going to forgo the story missions and just stick to these animations, which would be fine. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to go with this. There is an Enigma trailer that comes with, before the invasion, stuff actually happens in Overwatch 2. So we're going to watch that real quick and see what this entails before the other stuff.
Invasion is coming. The future is in jeopardy. I am the Enigma. I need to get a message out to our heroes. Null Sector's forces are attacking Rio, Gothenburg, and Toronto. I need reinforcements in these locations. We need heroes, more now than ever. Together, we will fight for the future. Answer the call, heroes. It's time to fight back. Prepare for the invasion.
John Cena? What? Is he going to be in the game? That'd be interesting. So, that really didn't explain anything. I guess he sent out stuff. I don't know if he's going to be in the game or, whatnot in that regard. Don't know why he had the weapons of the heroes, but whatever. Interesting nonetheless. Trying to get the word out. We'll have to look to see what else we got going on. So stay tuned. We're going to be posting video of the invasion trailers and, of course, the story missions to further our experience with Overwatch. So join me. Give me a like, give me a subscribe on Gaming with Magus on YouTube and Rumble. And again, I also stream Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch at tv.com/Gaming with Magus. And of course, come and join me, have a lot of fun. And if not, come back for more videos that we're going to chop up and put up on this platform. All right, thank you, and stay adventurous.